You think intimacy begins with touch, with closeness, with the moment two bodies finally admit what they want. That's the version everyone talks about, but that's not where it actually starts. It starts earlier, quieter, in places no one warns you about. It starts the moment you stop managing how you appear, the moment you let someone see you without fixing the image first. You're not touching. You're not even thinking about touch. You're just talking, sitting somewhere ordinary, late enough that the world feels thinner. You say something you usually keep to yourself, not because you plan to, but because it slipped through, and you don't pull it back. That's the moment. You notice it immediately, the small internal shift. You wonder if you said too much. You replay the sentence in your head, not to check if it was true, but to check if it was safe. You tell yourself it's nothing, just conversation, just honesty. But honesty is never neutral. Honesty is permission. You've allowed someone to see how you actually think when no one is watching. You've shown them the version of you that doesn't perform confidence well, that hesitates, that doubts. And now that version exists outside of you, in someone else's awareness. You start noticing things you didn't notice before, how long they take to respond, the exact tone of their words, what they choose not to say. You tell yourself you're just paying attention, but attention is attachment in its earliest form. Nothing physical has happened, nothing obvious, and yet something has already changed. You adjust. You soften certain edges of yourself. You hide others, not because they asked you to, but because you want to remain visible without becoming too exposed. That balance becomes exhausting. You tell yourself you're still in control. After all, you can leave. You can stop replying. You can pretend this means nothing. But you don't. Because intimacy isn't about proximity. It's about allowing someone to affect you, and they already do. A single message from them can lift your mood or quietly ruin your evening. You notice this and feel embarrassed by it because nothing has happened, at least nothing that can be explained. No touching, no promises, no lines crossed, and yet you're already carrying them with you, in your thoughts, in your pauses, in the way you reread your own words before sending them. You've let someone see you without armor, without irony, without distance. And that's why intimacy feels dangerous, not because of what someone can do to your body, but because of what they can now do to how you see yourself. They've witnessed a version of you that doesn't ask for permission to exist. And once someone has seen you that way, you can't fully return to pretending it didn't matter. That's the part no one warns you about. By the time touch becomes possible, the real risk has already passed, because the moment you let someone see you, really see you, you've already crossed the most vulnerable line there is. You weren't naked, you were visible. And visibility changes everything.